What up, comic book fam? Welcome back to Comic Book Circumstances. It's your boy Circumstances coming back at you with another pre-order package from Things from Another World. Every time they come in, it feels like Christmas Day to me. I get so excited. Now, I have started to use Things from Another World a lot less than I did when I first started out because I found some local comic shops, including my main shop, Pop Culture Comics. I found some local shops where I'm able to get most of the things that I want without the delay that I'm going to get from ordering from Things from Another World. But the advantage that Things from Another World does offer you is it allows you to pre-order things to make sure that you're locking them in, and it allows you to get a pretty nice discount on it when you pre-order as well, which are also nice things. So I really started to use it for the things that I'm worried about not finding out and about, either at all or for a reasonable price. My last pre-order package included the BRZRKR #1 second print, which when I went out to my shops on the day of its release, they were selling them for $50+, but I was able to get it for what, $4.19 by pre-ordering it from Things from Another World. So Things from Another World sucks because it's going to take them 2 weeks to process your order. So the way it works for me is they'll start processing it, and then 2 weeks later they'll ship it. So right now my next pre-order is already processing, but it's going to take them 2 weeks to actually send that bad boy. I'm gonna have it currently set at every 2 weeks, but because I'm transitioning more to my local shops, I recently changed it to every month. So we're going to be getting these a lot less frequently, but I'm assuming the packages will be a little bit bigger when they do come in because it's going to be a month's worth rather than 2 weeks. But with all that out of the way, let me go ahead and open this bad boy. I actually only remember 2 books that are in here, which I'm really excited to get because they were not books that I could get locally. But the rest of them, I can't really remember what I got. So excited to find out. All right, always great packaging from Things from Another World. I know, I've heard that if you order like 1 or 2 comics, the packaging is pretty brutal and very likely to get damaged. So if you are going to use them, always make sure to order enough to at least get one of these packs. I think it's like 10 or so. Because if they send you one of those little skinny strips, it's not real protective from damaging your books, which as collectors, that's obviously the last thing we want. All right, so this thing is open. Let's go ahead and get into it. First up, we've got Batman 108, the cardstock variant. I am enjoying Batman. I don't read a lot of DC comics. I'm reading Joker, I'm reading Batman, and I recently picked up Nightwing. But other than, and Robin, I'm reading Robin as well. But other than that, I really am not a big DC guy. But I am interested in Batman. I love James Tynion's writing, so I'm completely, fully invested in Batman right now. I got a bunch of Batman 108 covers, but I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find this cardstock cover when I went out, and I was right. The ones that I did find, they were actually selling them for $10, so over cover price. So I was real glad I was able to get it from undercover price from Things from Another World. So glad to have that one. I think that's a dope cover with Miracle Molly on it. And I find her to be a pretty interesting character. I've been finding a lot of the characters dumb, like Ghostmaker is super dumb to me. Like, I hate that character. Like who thought, how did James think that that character was cool? Doesn't make sense to me considering he creates so much cool stuff. Ghostmaker is just so whack to me. But Miracle Molly, I do enjoy her. She's super interesting. Her interaction with Batman was really interesting and unexpected in many ways. So really enjoy Miracle Molly. Glad to have this one in the collection. Next up, Beta Ray Bill #2. Now this is one that I could have easily gotten in my local shops, but when I got home on the day of, I realized that I had forgot to grab this one. Now I could have went back out and grabbed it, but I was lazy. So I just jumped on Things from Another World and added it to my pre-order list. This wasn't a read that I was dying to get. I wanted to read it, but I wasn't dying to get it. So I was fine with waiting for Things from Another World. So I just threw that to my pre-order package rather than going back out to get it. Looking forward to this one. Next up, one of the big ones in this pack, BRZRKR #1, the 3rd printing. This one, when I went out on the day of, they were selling this one for $75. The price has come down since then, but it's still a hard to get cover, and it's a dope cover. He's got the spine pulled out like he's Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Great, great cover. So real excited to get this one for undercover price because folks are paying pretty big money for this one. Will I sell it? I don't know. We'll see what happens. We also went ahead and grabbed BRZRKR 2. I wasn't worried that I could get BRZRKR 2, but that was before I changed my strategy. So BRZRKR 2 was also included in this one. I have multiple copies of this already, but I ain't mad about adding a couple of more copies. I kind of went ham on BRZRKR, and I've got a lot of copies of it. This is my stack of BRZRKR, and there are only 2 issues in, and I've got this many covers. I've got a problem. I need help. Send help, but I can't get enough of it. So we got a bunch of the covers for BRZRKR #1. I like that 1 in 25. I just got this one this week. There's the second print. That one is going for good amounts of money right now. And then the 4th print of #1, went ahead and added that one to the list as well. And then of course, #2, we'll go ahead and add this one to that pile. And we'll add this one to that pile. Can't get enough of that. There's the foil of that cover. And then we got the De Leon cover there. This one was 25 bucks. I like this cover, and the dude just passed away, rest in power. So I figured this one was worth the 25 buy. And then we've got the BRZRKR #2 second print as well. So as you can see, I am nuts for Keanu Reeves, Matt Kent, and BRZRKR. Can't stop buying these damn covers. I'm gonna try and slow down on BRZRKR 3 though. I'm definitely overboard right now. All right, next up, this is one I already had, but I was worried that I wouldn't get it, so I added it to my list. This is Department of Truth #8, the Scottie Young variant. I didn't actually have a problem getting this one in my stores, but I was worried about it, so that's why this one was on the list. I don't mind having 2 of these. Next up, Matt Kent, once again, ENIAC #3. I've got 2. I've got 3. I'm working on getting the not first print, but I'm not going to pay more than cover price because there's no reason to. So I'm still trying to get that one before I start reading these. But Matt Kent's on fire. Everybody's loving him, and everybody's loving this series. So I'm real excited to be getting a piece of it from Things from Another World because they are my Bad Idea dealer. None of my local shops are dealers for Bad Idea. The closest one I have is in Topeka, which is about a 45-minute drive from Kansas City. So I'm just going to stick with Things from Another World on ordering those. Next up, the Marvels #1. I don't even remember why I added this one to the list, actually. It might have been the cover. I don't know. It might have been because I got the first Marvels back when I was a kid and I was blown away by the art in it. So that was probably all a factor in me grabbing this one. I don't really remember, though. All right, next up, Nottingham #1. This is one of my favorite series going right now. It's from Mad Cave, but it's next to impossible to get these copies, man. #3 just came out. It was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago, but it was delayed. And then it came out this week, but none of my shops had it. I guess it was sold out. So when I asked my main shop about it, he was like, I tried to get it, but they were sold out. Didn't get any of them. So I was only ever able to get Nottingham #2 in person and nothing else. So I don't know what's going on with Mad Cave, why they're not making this available to people, because it is a great, great series. It's a reimagining of Robin Hood and his merry men, but it's more of a Rob Zombie, like, brutal take on Robin Hood. So they're not out here merry men, they're really out here just gutting folks, I like, you know, that Guy Ritchie guy or whatever. So I'm enjoying this one. Did not pick up the #1 first print, so I was happy to grab this one. I did go ahead and buy the trade paperback directly from Mad Cave, and the way they're doing it is they send you them digitally as they come out. So I got #3 digitally 2 weeks ago, and I was able to read it, and it was great, enjoyed it. And then once the series is over, I think they said in September, they're going to mail me the trade paperback with all of it. So I've already guaranteed myself the ability to read this, but I think that the individual issues are a hot commodity, a great investment. So I'm really trying to grab as many of them as I can, even though the comic book gods are not making it easy. But happy to have this one in my list, on my personal collection. Moving on, Two Moons, number 3. This is another one that I ordered thinking before I switched my strategy. I had no problems finding Two Moons, number 3, both covers, but I had already added this one to my list, so here it is. I'm enjoying this one. It's set in the Civil War era of America, and it's got this kind of voodoo feel to it, this voodoo dark magic feel to it. We've got a Native American who is fighting on the Union side. Some things happen and he ends up actually on the Confederate side, and then some more things happen and he kind of ends up on his own. But I'm interested in this one, enjoying this one, liking the history that it's involving, looking forward to the next one. All right, and last on my list, and this is the big one that I really was looking forward to. That's Whalesville, number 1. Really, it's a one-shot, so it's just Whalesville. This is a story from Bad Idea, written by Matt Kent, and it is it's getting lots and lots of hype. I have not read it myself, but a friend of mine who I got into comic books went and grabbed it because he's got a local store that is a dealer, and he bought 2 copies of it. He's read it like 5 times. He's read it to his son like 3 times. He absolutely loves this story, so I cannot wait to jump in on this one. And I think that this sky is the limit as far as investments for this one. I don't know that they're going to do a second print or not first print, as they say. So this might be the only way you're able to get this one. So really, really happy to put this one in the PC, baby. And I'm excited to read it, actually, because my friend cannot stop raving about it, man. It's great. So that is the end of my haul for this order from Things from Another World. Like I said, I am changing my strategy. I'm going to be buying a lot less from them going forward. It's going to be just my way of trying to make sure I get things like the Berserker second print, Berserker third print, those Nottingham prints. I've got all of them pre-ordered because I'm trying to make sure I get the Nottingham prints from them, because I'm definitely not having good luck grabbing them from my local shop. So Things from Another World has been great to me in that regard. Their order processing times are still pretty garbage, but I'm still pretty lenient given that I think that they are doing a massive amount of business right now. And of course, pandemic is probably slowing things down for them. So really hoping that we can get that order processing time to under 10 to 14 days sometime here in the future, near future. But even with those problems, I still really appreciate the website. It is great to use, to get in there and do everything on your own without having to talk to anybody. That's my number one thing about it, is I don't have to call and ask about anything. I can just go on there, find it on the list, click pre-order, and it's coming my way. So love the website. If you are without a local comic shop, I would highly recommend you give them a look. It's a great way to get your books. So that's all I got for you this time. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop down there and give me a like if you would. I'd very much appreciate it on this small little channel that I've got here. And if you're interested in any more content from me, go ahead and check out one of these videos right here, man. I appreciate y'all coming through as always. Thank you, comic book fam. Peace.